Chosen one, you did not arrive here by chance, and this moment was not shaped by an algorithm or coincidence. Heaven itself has aligned this encounter in perfect spiritual timing. Anointed one, there is a reason your spirit felt drawn, a reason something within you paused and leaned in. You are standing at the edge of a moment that was written long before now, a moment where what has been hidden begins to surface, and what was restrained is about to move. Chosen one, you have felt the pressure, the narrowing, the strange stillness before change. Scripture reminds us there is a time for every purpose under heaven, and you are now standing inside that appointed hour. What has been forming quietly around you is not imagination, it is preparation. A door is opening that cannot be forced and cannot be delayed. Sudden elevation, divine repositioning, and a transfer that comes from above rather than from effort are aligning around your life. Anointed one, those with power are awakening to what heaven already confirmed. What you carry cannot be purchased, replicated, or controlled. You were preserved for this moment, refined without applause, strengthened without recognition, guarded so that when influence looks your way, it finds integrity standing firm. And yet, God's reminders do not always arrive through thunder or explanation. Sometimes they come as something quiet, simple, and steady, something the soul can return to when the noise fades. What has been prepared rests gently below, waiting in its proper place. Chosen one, the urgency you feel right now is not anxiety, and it is not pressure from the world. It is spiritual alertness. It is the quiet alarm of heaven going off inside your chest, letting you know that timing has shifted and alignment has changed. You are not imagining the sense that something is near. Heaven is signaling you to prepare because someone with influence, reach, and resources has been stirred awake, and without ever planning to, your name has entered their atmosphere. Chosen one. This moment will not make sense to everyone, and it was never meant to. There are words that only land on spirits that are awake. If you are still here, if something in you feels steady instead of shaken, then you already know this message is not random. I have learned through my own seasons of waiting that when heaven speaks quietly, it is often because the message is heavy. Loud moments attract crowds. Quiet moments attract the called. Anointed one. Let me speak plainly now. Much of your life has been lived unseen. Not overlooked because you lacked value, but hidden because visibility would have corrupted what was still forming. You have walked through rooms where your presence was tolerated but never honored. You have prayed prayers that echoed back in silence. I know that place. I remember asking God if faithfulness still mattered when no one seemed to notice. What I learned is that obscurity is not rejection, it is training. Chosen one. Something has shifted. Someone who has access to everything the world can offer has become aware that something essential is missing. Not money, not power, not legacy, presence, peace, clarity, and for the first time they are realizing that what they lack cannot be purchased. It must be carried. That is why they are drawn to you, not because of what you own, but because of who you are when everything is stripped away. Anointed one. This is not about celebrity. It is not about being elevated so others can applaud you. It is about spiritual value, the kind that is forged in pain, refined through humility, and preserved by obedience. You carry divine weight. Your scars tell a story that money cannot rewrite. Your stillness speaks louder than their influence. I have seen this pattern before. Those who endure without becoming bitter carry a frequency that unsettles the powerful. Chosen one. What they are sensing is not something you practiced, it is something you survived. The peace you carry was paid for in nights when quitting would have been easier. The discernment you walk in came from trusting God when logic failed. That is why their attention feels sudden. Heaven did not rush your process, but it did protect your timing. You were planted deep so your roots would hold when recognition finally came. Anointed one. This is why you must understand what is happening. They do not just want proximity, they need revelation. Your life is a living reminder that spiritual authority still outranks earthly status. Without saying a word, your presence exposes the hollowness of what they built without God. That is not your assignment to fix, but it is your assignment to represent truth without compromise. Chosen one. I need to say this carefully. This is not a fairy tale moment. It is a test. When influence begins to recognize purity, it will either try to honor it or consume it. I have watched doors open that looked like answers, but carried hidden costs. Heaven never rushes you into rooms it has not prepared you to stand in. When power starts to seek your presence, grounding becomes protection. Anointed one. You are not being called to save anyone, you are being called to stand. To be a sign that even in high places, spiritual hunger is awakening. Some will approach you out of curiosity, others out of desperation, a few out of genuine humility. Your responsibility is not to impress them, but to remain aligned. Peace will always tell you more than opportunity. Chosen one. Your name is being whispered in rooms your feet have not yet entered, not for fame, but for alignment, not for applause, but for assignment. And this is where discernment becomes everything. Heaven is watching how you carry yourself in this moment, not to test your worth, but to confirm your readiness. Anointed one. Do not shrink, do not rush, do not perform. Stand firm in who you have already become. What is unfolding does not need your effort, only your obedience. When influence finally recognizes purity, the earth begins to shake, and that shaking has already started. Chosen one. There is something you must understand about those at the top. Power does not remove spiritual hunger, it amplifies it. The higher someone climbs in this world, the more clearly they feel what is missing. Wealth can silence noise, but it cannot silence the soul. Influence can open doors, but it cannot open peace. That is why many who sit in high places eventually turn inward, searching for something they cannot name but cannot ignore. Anointed one. You may assume that the powerful are not spiritual, that they are disconnected from God or sacred truth. But that is not entirely true. Many of them have seen too much, built too much, lost too much to believe life is only material. When you reach the top and still feel empty, you start asking different questions. Not loud ones, but dangerous ones. Questions about meaning, about legacy, about what remains when success stops satisfying. Chosen one. Right now, conversations are happening behind closed doors that you will never hear directly. Not because you are excluded, but because you are being observed. Patterns are being noticed. Lives are being studied. People are trying to understand how someone can endure pressure, rejection and loss without collapsing or becoming cruel. They are noticing something rare: integrity under strain, peace without explanation, strength that does not need to dominate. Anointed one. This is why your presence unsettles some and draws others in. You are not loud. You are not chasing attention. You are not selling yourself. And that confuses systems built on performance. I have learned that when you stop trying to be seen, the right eyes eventually find you. Heaven has a way of highlighting those who refuse to self-promote. Chosen one. There are circles of influence where spiritual language sounds different. They may talk about energy, alignment, intuition, or timing, but underneath it all is the same hunger for truth. Some of these people are curious, some are threatened, some are quietly desperate. They feel something shifting in the world, and they know old systems cannot hold what is coming. That is why they are looking for carriers, not celebrities, for anchors, not influencers. Anointed One. Let me ground this for you. I have walked into rooms where nothing was said, but everything changed. Conversations slowed, people became restless, not because I tried to impress anyone, but because presence speaks before words. You have felt this too. When you enter certain spaces and the atmosphere tightens or softens, that is not imagination, that is spiritual sensitivity meeting unaddressed truth. Chosen One. This is why you must be careful not to romanticize this moment. Not everyone who is drawn to your light honors its source. Some want to study you. Some want to imitate you. Some want to borrow what you carry without paying the price you paid. But what you carry was forged, not gifted. It came through obedience when no one clapped, through restraint when revenge was easier, through faith when walking away would have been justified. Anointed One. You owe no one access. Interest does not equal assignment. Attention does not equal alignment. This is a lesson I learned the hard way. Just because someone recognizes your value does not mean they are safe to walk with you. Discernment is not suspicion, it is stewardship. You are protecting what heaven entrusted to you. Chosen One. Do not be surprised when powerful people begin quoting sacred ideas or adopting spiritual language. Some are sincere, others are mimicking what they see. But what they cannot copy is your process. They did not cry the tears you cried. They did not surrender when you surrendered. And they cannot reverse engineer obedience. Anointed One. Your authority came from fire, from nights of unanswered prayer, from choosing truth when compromise would have brought comfort. That is why it carries weight, and that is why heaven is watching how you respond now. This season is not about exposure, it is about discernment. Chosen One. If invitations come, pause. If praise comes, stay humble. If curiosity turns into pressure, step back. You were not called to entertain power, you were called to represent light, and light does not rush, it stands. Anointed One. What is unfolding is bigger than recognition, it is spiritual reordering, and you are not chasing it. You are simply standing where heaven planted you. Let that be enough as the next layer begins to reveal itself. Chosen One. There is a reason your presence shifts rooms before your voice ever speaks. Energy travels faster than language. Truth announces itself without explanation. When you walk into certain spaces and people grow uncomfortable, it is not because you did something wrong, it is because something hidden has been disturbed. Light does not argue with darkness, it exposes it by existing. Anointed One. You have probably wondered why some people cling to you while others pull away, why some doors close suddenly after connection and others open without effort. This is not inconsistency, this is discernment being triggered in others. Your frequency forces decision. People either move toward healing or retreat into defense. Both reactions are revealing, and neither are your responsibility. Chosen One. This is the side of being chosen that is rarely discussed. You do not only comfort, you confront by being. You do not need to call anything out. Your presence already does. I remember seasons when relationships fell apart without explanation. At first I blamed myself. Later I realized truth makes unstable structures uncomfortable. And not everything that leaves was meant to stay. Anointed One. There are powerful individuals who have slept poorly after encountering someone like you, not because of fear of loss, but because of conviction. You reminded them of something they buried, of who they were before ambition reshaped them, of what mattered before control replaced calling. That kind of remembrance can feel threatening to someone who built their life avoiding it. Chosen one. This is why desperation can look like admiration. Hunger can disguise itself as respect. Some will want proximity, hoping peace will transfer by association. Others will want to study you, hoping your stillness can be decoded. But your energy is not for consumption, it is for assignment. You are not meant to be drained. You are meant to be directed. Anointed one. Your responsibility is not to fix what surfaces in others. Your responsibility is to remain rooted. Stay obedient to the timing that carried you this far. Heaven has been guiding your steps long before this moment, and it has not stopped now. You will recognize alignment by peace, not pressure. Chosen one. You may feel the shift already. Conversations changing, invitations forming, attention sharpening. Do not let that make you perform. Stillness is your strength. Silence has protected you before, and it will protect you again. When the atmosphere reacts to you, remember you did not create this presence, you stewarded it. Anointed one. Some will label you intense. Others will say you are too quiet, too deep, too different. That language always comes from those who cannot read spiritual weight. But those who can feel it know exactly what is happening. And among them are people with resources, reach, and influence. They may never say it out loud, but their spirits already know. Chosen one, you did not arrive with status. You arrived with substance, and substance is rare in a world addicted to surface. That is why your presence lingers. That is why your silence speaks. That is why even those who appear unshaken feel something move when you enter. Anointed one. Do not dim yourself to make others comfortable. Do not explain what heaven never asked you to justify. You were meant to shift atmospheres, not blend into them. To carry light into places that forgot what holiness felt like. Chosen one. This moment is not about becoming someone new. It is about remaining who you already are while the world adjusts around you. Heaven is not asking you to chase influence. It is asking you to guard alignment. Anointed one. What is ahead requires clarity, restraint, and trust. Stay rooted, stay attentive, stay humble. The attention you are sensing is real, but it is not the destination. It is the doorway, and how you stand here will determine what opens next. Chosen one. There comes a point in every calling where the promise is no longer questioned, but the waiting becomes heavy. You are past doubt. You are past curiosity. You know what was spoken over you is real. What you are wrestling with now is endurance. It is the quiet fatigue that settles in when days begin to look the same and progress feels invisible. This is not weakness. This is the weight of maturity. Anointed one. This is the part no one celebrates. The place where faith is no longer fueled by excitement, but by decision. You wake up and still choose alignment. You still show up with integrity. You still carry yourself with restraint, even when nothing around you seems to be moving. I have lived in this stretch, where the promise felt close enough to touch, yet far enough to test every part of my patience. It is not glamorous, but it is holy. Chosen one. Heaven does not rush what it intends to last. The delay you feel is not denial, and it is not distance. It is development. There are layers in you being strengthened that cannot be rushed by manifestation. Your spirit is being taught how to remain steady without constant reassurance. This is where faith stops being emotional and becomes embodied. Anointed One, some days your faith looks like stillness. Other days it looks like obedience in ordinary moments. Paying attention, being kind when you could withdraw, holding your tongue when silence feels safer than truth. These are not small acts. These are the quiet proofs of trust. The promise matures in places no one sees, including you. Chosen One, I know the temptation is to look for signs, confirmations, or dramatic shifts. But there is a deeper work happening now. God is teaching you how to return to what you already know, instead of chasing what you hope to feel. Faith at this level is not loud. It is consistent. It does not panic when timelines stretch. It rests in what was already spoken. Anointed One, remember how many times you thought something was ending, only to realize later it was preparing you. You survived seasons that once felt unbearable, and now they feel distant. This moment will be the same one day. What feels heavy now will become wisdom later. What feels slow now will one day feel precise. Chosen One, there is a strength being formed in you that does not depend on outcomes. You are learning how to remain aligned, even when the reward has not yet arrived. This is not punishment. This is stewardship. Heaven entrusts endurance only to those who can carry what comes next without losing themselves. Anointed One, I have noticed in my own walk that faith is often steadied by simple, repeatable reminders rather than constant explanation or dramatic signs. A quiet reminder connected to this has been gently placed in the pinned comment below. Chosen One, return now to the deeper truth. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. The waiting you are in is not empty space. It is filled with unseen reinforcement. Your discernment is sharpening. Your restraint is strengthening. Your spirit is becoming unshakable. Anointed One, this is where many turn back, not because they stop believing, but because they grow tired of believing quietly. You are being invited to remain, to stay planted, to trust without needing to be seen. This is the posture that sustains elevation when it arrives. Chosen One, the promise does not require you to strive. It requires you to stay aligned. There will be a moment when movement becomes obvious and acceleration replaces stillness. Until then, your role is not to force doors, but to keep your hands clean and your heart clear. What is coming will require clarity more than speed. Anointed One, heaven is watching how you wait, not to test you, but to confirm what you already carry. The same God who spoke the promise is present in the silence. The same power that will open the door is strengthening you now in stillness. Nothing is being wasted. Chosen One, remain faithful in the ordinary. Remain steady when nothing changes externally. This is the quiet stretch where calling becomes character and destiny becomes embodied. You are not being held back. You are being held together. And when the waiting finally gives way, you will recognize that this season was not a pause, but a foundation. Chosen One. Now the atmosphere begins to change, not outwardly at first, but internally. There is a sharpening happening in you. What once felt confusing is becoming clear. What once pulled at you emotionally no longer has the same power. This is not because the pressure disappeared, but because your inner authority has grown. You are starting to recognize what is yours to carry and what is not. Anointed One, this is where discernment becomes more than a concept. It becomes instinct. You no longer explain yourself as much. You no longer feel the need to convince others of your sincerity or depth. Silence begins to feel like strength instead of avoidance. This is not withdrawal. This is refinement. Heaven is teaching you how to conserve energy for what actually matters. Chosen one, the closer the promise draws, the more selective your spirit becomes. You may notice your tolerance shrinking for noise, drama, or shallow connections. This is not pride. This is alignment. When something sacred is forming, unnecessary weight naturally falls away. Even good things sometimes have to loosen their grip so better things can take their place. Anointed one, there is also a quiet warning embedded in this season. Not everything that approaches you now is meant to walk with you later. Attention increases before transition. Curiosity rises before clarity. You must not confuse proximity with permission. Just because someone can see you does not mean they can access you. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. Chosen one, I have learned that when God prepares to elevate someone, distractions often come dressed as opportunities. Conversations that feel flattering but leave you drained, invitations that sound aligned but disrupt your peace. This is where inner listening matters more than external validation. Peace is not passive, it is directional. Anointed one, you are not meant to rescue the powerful, impress the curious, or perform for the watching. You are meant to stand as you are, rooted, clear, and unmoved. The authority you carry does not come from influence. It comes from obedience sustained over time. That kind of authority cannot be rushed and cannot be borrowed. Chosen one, you may sense that certain people are drawn to you now without fully understanding why. Some will project their hopes onto you, others will test your boundaries to see how firm they are. This is not accidental. Your clarity is being tested because clarity will be required where you are going. Confusion cannot survive in high places. Anointed one, remember this. You are not responsible for how others interpret your stillness. You are responsible for remaining aligned with heaven's pace. There will be moments when saying nothing is the most powerful response. Moments when restraint speaks louder than correction. Wisdom is learning when to move and when to remain unmoved. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of consistency in this phase. Showing up as yourself, speaking truth without force, choosing rest over reaction. These choices are forming a foundation that will hold weight later. Elevation without foundation always collapses. Yours will not. Anointed one, what is being built in you now is not just for arrival, but for sustainability. Many can reach a platform, few can remain whole on it. God is preparing you to carry influence without losing intimacy, visibility without losing humility, provision without losing dependence. Chosen one, stay grounded in what you know. Return often to stillness. Let clarity guide you, not urgency. What is coming will arrive at the right speed, not the fastest one. And when it does, you will recognize that this season of discernment was not restrictive. It was protective. The path ahead is narrowing, not to trap you, but to focus you. And focus is power. Chosen one. This is where stewardship begins to take shape. Not stewardship of resources yet, but stewardship of self. How you think, how you respond, how you carry yourself when no one is affirming you. These inner disciplines are quietly determining how much you will be trusted with later. Heaven always entrusts influence to those who can manage themselves first. Anointed one, you may feel an increased awareness of your own inner world. Old reactions no longer feel acceptable. Patterns you once tolerated now feel heavy. This is not condemnation. This is growth. Your spirit is outgrowing environments, habits, and expectations that once felt normal. Growth often feels like discomfort before it feels like freedom. Chosen one, there is also a sobering clarity emerging. You are realizing that what is coming will require more than excitement. It will require character. More than faith declarations, it will require daily integrity. The kind that chooses truth even when no one is watching. The kind that stays aligned even when shortcuts are available. Anointed One, I want to speak honestly here. There are seasons when God feels quiet, not because he is absent, but because he is watching how you move without constant instruction. This is trust. Silence does not mean abandonment. It means responsibility is being transferred. You are being treated as someone who can hear without being shouted at. Chosen One, this is also where fear sometimes tries to resurface. Not fear of failure, but fear of success, fear of being seen, fear of responsibility, fear of what will be required once the door opens. These fears are normal, but they are not signals to stop. They are signals to anchor deeper. Anointed One, remember this. You are not stepping into something foreign. You are stepping into what you have been prepared for your entire life. The weight you will carry tomorrow is being strengthened in you today. Nothing is sudden in the spirit, even when it looks sudden in the natural. Chosen One, you are learning how to remain humble without shrinking, how to be confident without becoming hard, how to be visible without being performative. These balances matter. Influence magnifies everything, including unresolved areas. God is resolving them now while the stakes are lower. Anointed One, stay attentive to small instructions, not because they are small, but because obedience is cumulative. Each quiet yes builds trust. Each restrained response builds authority. Each moment of integrity builds capacity. You are being formed into someone who can carry more without losing peace. Chosen One, there will come a time when movement accelerates and decisions must be made quickly. This season is preparing you for that by slowing you down now. Slowness is not delay, it is calibration. Heaven is aligning your timing with its own. Anointed One, do not rush the end of this chapter. There is wisdom being sealed into you that you will rely on later. One day, you will look back and realize this was the season that taught you how to stand without applause, how to listen without noise, and how to chosen one. There is a moment in every calling where clarity sharpens and distractions lose their appeal. You are entering that moment now. What once pulled at your attention no longer holds the same weight, not because you became colder, but because you became clearer. Your spirit is learning how to recognize what feeds it and what drains it without needing to analyze every detail. Anointed One, this is where alignment becomes visible through restraint. You begin to notice that fewer words are needed, fewer explanations, fewer defenses. Your presence carries enough authority on its own. This is not distance, this is grounding. When someone is rooted, they do not sway with every breeze of opinion. Chosen One, you may feel a growing discomfort with environments that once felt familiar. Conversations that revolve around noise, urgency, or performance no longer nourish you. This does not mean you are rejecting people. It means you are protecting posture. What you are carrying now requires a quieter atmosphere to remain intact. Anointed One, I want to acknowledge something real. There is grief that can come with this clarity, the realization that not everyone can come with you. Not every connection can deepen. Not every relationship can mature alongside your calling. This grief does not mean you made the wrong choice. It means you are choosing truth over attachment. Chosen One, heaven does not strip things away to punish you. It removes what cannot survive where you are going. Weight increases at higher levels. Excess becomes dangerous. This is why discernment sharpens before elevation. You are being trained to recognize what does not belong without needing to explain it away. Anointed One, you may notice that your reactions are slowing down. Where you once felt the need to respond immediately, you now pause. Where you once needed to clarify, you now observe. This is wisdom forming. Stillness is not passivity, it is power under control. Chosen One, there will be moments in this season when you feel alone, even while being watched. This is not abandonment, it is privacy. Heaven guards what it is about to trust. You are not meant to process everything publicly. Some strengthening happens best in silence. Anointed One, remember this. Not every door that opens is meant to be entered. Some open only to reveal what you are no longer meant to pursue. Your peace is becoming a clearer signal than opportunity. Follow it without guilt. Chosen One, the authority you are stepping into does not need constant validation. It stands on its own. When you stop seeking approval, alignment becomes easier to maintain. You begin to move less from emotion and more from discernment. Anointed One, what is forming now is the ability to carry weight without being impressed by it, influence without intimidation, provision without dependency, visibility without ego. These balances are rare, and they are not learned quickly. They are learned through restraint. Chosen One, stay attentive to your inner responses. They are teaching you how to navigate what is coming. Trust the quiet adjustments happening inside you. They are not accidental, they are preparation. Anointed One, you are not shrinking, you are consolidating. Focus is narrowing, strength is stabilizing. What remains will be enough to carry what is next. And when the moment arrives, you will recognize that this season was not about waiting, but about becoming unmovable. Chosen One. Now we arrive at a sacred threshold. Not the moment of arrival yet, but the moment just before it. The place where everything feels still, even though movement is imminent. This is where anticipation meets surrender. You can sense that something is about to shift, but you are no longer trying to force it. That restraint is maturity. Anointed One, you have learned how to stand without rushing, how to trust without constant reassurance, how to remain aligned even when outcomes are not visible. These are not small lessons. They are the very qualities that allow you to carry what is coming without losing yourself. Chosen One, the attention that has been forming around you will soon become more tangible. Conversations will change. Invitations will become clearer. Decisions will require firmness. This is why your inner world has been strengthened first. You will not need to scramble for wisdom when the moment arrives. It has already been formed in you. Anointed One, let me say this plainly. You are not being elevated to be admired. You are being positioned to steward. What comes next will require clarity, restraint, and humility. Heaven does not entrust influence to those who crave it, but to those who can hold it lightly. Chosen One, there is a calm confidence settling into you now. Not arrogance, not certainty about outcomes, but certainty about alignment. You know where your source is. You know what you will not compromise. You know how to pause before responding. This is the posture that sustains elevation. Anointed One, you may still feel moments of hesitation. That is natural. Responsibility always carries weight. But do not mistake weight for warning. Sometimes it simply means something real is being placed into your care. Chosen One, what is ahead will not require you to become louder, faster, or harder. It will require you to remain who you already are. Steady, clear, grounded. What brought you here will sustain you there. Anointed One, you are not walking into the unknown alone. Heaven has gone before you. The same presence that carried you through obscurity will carry you through visibility. Nothing about your life is out of alignment with divine timing. Chosen one, this is where trust becomes embodied. Not trust that everything will be easy, but trust that you will be guided. You do not need to rehearse outcomes, you need to remain responsive. Anointed one, hold this truth as you move forward. What is coming does not need your fear or your force. It needs your availability and your integrity. You have been prepared for both. Chosen one, stand where you are without restlessness. The next step will reveal itself at the right moment, without striving, without confusion. And when it does, you will move with clarity because you have learned how to wait well. This is not the end of the journey, it is the crossing point, and you are ready. Chosen one, as this message comes to rest, receive this with reverence. You have been seen, not by chance but by heaven. What has been stirring around you is not imagination. A transfer is already in motion, and you are standing in your kairos moment, the appointed time where preparation meets permission. Do not rush ahead of the grace that carried you here. Remain faithful, remain aligned, and let peace be the witness that confirms your next step. Anointed one, stay ready and stay grounded. The doors opening around you are not tests of your worth, but confirmations of your stewardship. Guard your oil, guard your clarity, guard your name. When heaven says now, you will move without striving, speak without fear, and stand without flinching. Until then, gratitude will keep your heart light, and obedience will keep your path clear. Chosen one, if this word resonated, you are welcome to leave a simple sign of agreement in the comments, and to remain connected here as this journey continues, not out of obligation, but alignment. Sometimes God steadies the heart, not through more words, but through something quiet and practical prepared in advance. And there is such a reminder resting gently in the pinned comment and the description. Anointed one, may grace surround you, may wisdom guard you, and may favor meet you at the exact moment heaven has appointed. Walk forward in peace. The next page is already being written.